Hi, so I'm just doing a video response to the Magic Washing Machine, the Hans Rosling video, as well as the Cheryl Wooden, our century's greatest injustice. To start out, I first watched the Magic Washing Machine, and I thought he was really clever and really funny with his story, but it just shows how much we have evolved with our technologies and stuff. How it's nothing really to us. It's an everyday thing. We use it every day. It's just there, and we almost view it as a necessity, even though it's really not. I mean, people manage without it, but in today's world, in today's society, we view it as a necessity. And then also, like, all of the different, how he pointed out all of the different amazing technologies that we have nowadays, our computers, our washing machines, our dishwashers, our fridge, just all of those, even a shower and a sink and stuff like that, where in other countries they may not even have food, and we have all this other knick-knack type stuff. And then I just thought it was really funny how he also said that his grandma, when they first got their washing machine, it was a huge family production. I mean, his grandma sat down and watched the whole program, as they called it, and it was almost like a TV show. But could you imagine, like, kind of how they have those fireplace, like, background videos where it's like, it's just there, it's not a big deal, but she watched the whole thing. And I don't think any of us could imagine wasting our time like that, watching the whole thing run its cycle. But to her, it was just fascinating. And it just got me thinking, like, okay, it doesn't mean we have to sit there and appreciate it and enjoy it. And by showing we appreciate it, we have to watch the whole program. But just how do we treat the things that we have nowadays, that we think are necessities, but really are a huge blessing to us? Do we appreciate them as much as we should? And it really was magic, because it gave them time for so many other things. I mean, he kind of talks about the relationship that the time that he could spend with his mom then. And it just brought in a whole new aspect of life. Like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do with all my time now that I have this washing machine and I don't have to spend my whole day washing clothes? And just how he illustrated how thankful his family was. I thought it was really interesting, and just gets you thinking, when you compare your life to the lives that these developing countries have. How grateful are you that you're not in their situation, and how grateful would they be to be in ours? And then on to Cheryl Wooden, our century's greatest injustice. I think a quote that she used and kind of touched off of was how women and girls are not the problem. They are more than likely the solution. At the beginning, I can't remember the girl's name, but she talked about one of the girls that she was pulled out of school. She was the best pupil in the school. It was just too much money, and why would they spend that kind of money if they knew she wasn't going to go anywhere anyways, when she was just going to work in the factory just like all the other kids. And from that, I believe this was the same girl that ended up going on to get the scholarships and graduating from college, and just making a huge change in her life, making a huge difference. She moved out of that vicious cycle that Cheryl talked about and kind of changed her life into a virtuous one. And through that change, it changed her family's perspective and the community's perspective. Maybe not all at once, but the first initial change can be the hardest, but it sets the ball rolling for so many other changes. And then it was interesting how she said when women are educated, they tend to get married later, have kids later, and then with those kids, she'll educate them. So hopefully that change will make a difference as well. And the highest return is women getting an education. There's a lot of benefit, and you see the result. You see the great outcome and the great effects from that. And then she, at the very end, touched on 2 points about why we should care. She briefly touched on how once our basic needs are met, there's really very few things that can bring us such joy and such happiness. And with that, donating to a higher cause can often bring happiness to other people and serving in that way. And I think in the LDS space, we can testify to that we donating to a higher cause definitely helps us find happiness. And then 2, with great fortune comes great responsibility. In the United States, we're blessed with so much, but that means that we have the responsibility to live up to our potential here in the United States, and realizing the responsibility that we have and the influence that we can have on these developing countries as well. And those are my responses and views on those videos. Bye.